Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom.
Interrupting or not?
No.
Yeah,
I've trawled the internet
now,
for the best, worst, and most interesting, ridiculous, dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. And today we have got with us Katnip.
Hello.
Miss Lucy Luxor.
I genuinely thought you didn't introduce me first because I'm the most famous. So
I do it in the order on my screen.
oh, okay.
Starky's horn, attached to Starky.
She's female.
Hello. Yep, all girl. What can I say?
Mr. Pickle. Nerdy.
Alright. Hey up.
And Jeff, Godless Scummer.
Oi.
Jenny says Dave wouldn't let me on today because I refused to have the sex with the breakfast banana.
That's dirty.
Right. Hello, how are you all doing?
Yeah, not doing too
Shining
bad.
up that horn.
I couldn't get you to shut up 2 minutes ago.
We're camera shy.
Yeah.
That wasn't appropriate.
Your camera
for
shot.
live.
No. Something like last bit.
Fine. Would you like some questions?
Oh yes, please.
Do we have to?
Live for him.
You live for them.
When you say questions,
Yeah. I'm about to ask you one. It's coming now.
right?
Wait there. Say something funny.
Something funny. Can't
Dave loves spiders.
And please.
Oh,
Oh.
shit. I just got shouted at for not reading Sammy's super chat.
Oh.
Sammy says, can I book a seat on the panel with this super chat? No. You can't buy your way onto the panel.
It's kind of cool that you get
Yeah.
a super chat. So
And I've sent him a super chat every day since he's fucking started.
That's why he's here. Julie says, I love all of you introverts.
love you too.
Right.
Hugs.
First question. Question 921. Have you ever done a fart in your sleep that was so bad that it woke you and or your partner up, not from the sound, but the smell?
Not that I'm aware of.
Lucy?
Not a chance.
Not a ch-
No, but I've done other things in my sleep that have woken me up.
Like what?
Like rolled over and got hit in the face with my boob.
Nerdy.
Probably more than once, yes. And I'm reasonably certain it got turned into a game at some point. And that's when we discovered Dutch ovens as well, because you start off by wafting it, and then you're a little bit like, if we contain this smell, will it? And then, yeah, it just goes from there. So, yeah, probably.
So I guess we could say that.
That smells stick with.
Yeah.
You know she's trying to recover.
He says,
I
smells
know.
so bad.
You'd fucking kill me when she gets back.
I've walked upstairs and been hit with a wall of the smell and turned around, gone back downstairs and slept on the sofa for the night. I'm not dealing with that. So
I've woken up to the dog smell, never a partner smell. My dog farted
fart.
next to me and I woke up and oh man. Not like something crawled up there and died, right? But never a
Dog
human.
food aroma.
It's bad. It's very fishy smelling. They eat a salmon food. It's bad.
Catnip.
No. No. I either sleep too hard or neither one of us fart that bad, because once I'm asleep, I might as well just be dead until I wake up.
Mark has cleared out pubs with his farts. Like, he genuinely takes joy out of me having to gag where the smell is so bad. So, you're lucky, Katnip.
There you go. B says another reason for me not to date men, Lucy.
God, they're vile, B. Honestly, like.
It sounds like he needs to go in for like restoration, fixing like broken parts or something.
I sometimes wonder if there is like a rat or something that has died up there.
Let me
Do you know
win.
what I mean? You just never know.
Betsy says, "At least I'm blue here, Lucy."
The burn.
Congratulations, Betsy.
Right. Next question.
You didn't read the chat's answers.
Did the chat say anything about it?
I'm
Oh,
looking
I'm
at
wrong.
Spider-Man.
Yay, you didn't answer.
Yeah, we need to poke
B
Dave
said-
every time.
You did read some of the
Loud and
answers.
steady, she almost kicked me out of bed for the night, had to air it out while she went and smoked a cigarette.
Was it safe to smoke a cigarette?
Well, it get rid of the gas either way.
Uh-huh.
Harmonica Man says dogs are the worst. They burn the tip of your tongue from the smell. Ricardo
What?
says not really. What?
They smell of like cabbage. when
Depends
they
what you
fart.
feed them. And the
But
dog.
I've never had cabbage.
We
Jenny
still haven't
says-
had Dave's answer.
Jenny says, I swear if there are aliens, we will find that the universal language will be fart jokes.
That'd be a sad state of affairs, wouldn't it? If our first ever contact with an intelligent alien life form is an alien putting his finger out and said, like, pull my finger.
Oh my god. Could you
What if their little
imagine?
head just blows up with the fart and then it slowly leaks out of their ears in a whistling sound like
Dave?
Fantastic.
Answer the question, Dave.
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
How
Let's
many
ask
minutes
the real
spent on this
person.
hunt?
Say again?
There's somebody back there that'll tell us for real.
2
If
secs.
you've ever woken her up.
No, she shakes her head. I win.
Oh, dang it.
Put it in
Disappointing.
the private chat, Kaz. Go on and listen to the
How many minutes have we spent on this question and can we move on?
Yes.
Next.
What are you under the impression that the questions are going to get any better than this?
I was given strict instructions that we have to drag a question out for at least 12 minutes.
I
And
never
we're
said
not
12
allowed-
minutes.
We're not allowed to say
He said
today
20?
answer the question. Ooh.
Ricardo says, has anyone seen the video of the cat puking because of the dog fart? Don't think so.
I think I saw that one.
No.
Was it
I've
a
seen it.
golden? I feel like I saw that one.
And
I've
there
seen
is a
cat on
hug.
cat farting.
Right. Question 922. Is there anything that cannot be turned smutty?
No.
On this show, based on the evidence of this show, I'm going to say no.
No. There must be something.
There is nothing. I remember Joey from Friends when they asked him this question and he said no. And then he said, Granny's chicken salad.
That makes no sense.
It does.
Is it-
You can make anything sound sexy or smutty.
Ah. I get you. Sammy says no comment. Julie says no. B says babies and death. Ozzy says death and
I don't know.
sadness.
There's people warped enough to try and do that though.
The problem is I say there's times that you can't make things smutty.
Yeah.
But I think
Yes,
the
I don't
most
think there's
topics.
I don't think there's a particular subject that can't be made smutty. It might be distasteful, but I don't think there's anything that can't be made smutty.
Inappropriately smutty and appropriately smutty.
Yes.
Like,
Such a thing.
without being disgusting or like getting anyone into trouble here, but with the babies and death joke, like if you're into that.
Who want you trying to get into trouble?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it's not a very nice subject to talk about, but like there are people out there that there's like forums and shit, isn't there, to
There's enough awful shit on the internet.
to talk about that. Like, there's the old, hollow out a loaf of bread and use some Vaseline, isn't there? That apparently recreates the old death necrophilium thing.
How do you know this?
Oh, can I? I'm going to take a note of that. Just no particular reason, but.
KP says nope. Jenny says no. The family B says, I guess that's a question of morality. B is not into that.
I'm not into it either, but there are people that are. People are awful, but
people are into some very bad things. Very bad things. Right. Next question. I think.
Yeah.
Question.
Moving on.
Drink. Question 923. Do you think? What?
Huh?
What did you say?
Nobody said drink, even though I had just taken a sip of my drink. I drank again.
You thought Nerdy said that?
Drink.
Somebody
Drink
said
indeed.
that.
See, I told you I sound like you, Dave.
You sound nothing like me.
But Katnip just thought you were me, so I must sound. Oh, no.
No, you're in time out, Mr. President.
Right, question 923. Do you think schools should run for the entirety of a normal workday?
An extra hour on both ends.
Yeah, longer.
So that you have time to get to and from work after dropping the kids off at school.
So it should be an entire workday plus 2 hours.
Can you just define what a normal work day is, please?
9 to 5:30. She runs away.
Okay, I have never had a 9 to 5 job in my life ever, so.
Katnip, would you turn yourself up, please? Apparently.
Well, I tried. We'll see if that's any better.
I can hear you perfectly fine.
I'm also trying to not talk too loud because on the other side of that wall over there is a sleeping baby, and I don't want to wake her up. Because the longer she sleeps, the more I don't have to deal with her fussing.
Right. Betsy laughs at 9 to 5. Sammy says school should be 16 hours a day.
No, thank you.
Why?
I would not have wanted to do that, therefore I don't want to make other people do that.
But you're an adult now.
Griffin.
You're an adult now. You subject the current generation of children to it. You've made it through.
I'm aware. But if I wouldn't want to go through it, that means I shouldn't put other people through it.
Didn't this actually legitimately come up a few years ago in the UK when Gove was trying to extend the school day?
Yes. Very much.
He was citing results from Asia or something, but there were a lot of arguments against it as well. I mean, it's because it was I mean, it's actually brought up that teachers and pupils actually spend longer hours in the classroom in most countries in the world, and Britain has some of the shortest summer holidays, believe it or not. So,
yeah, our standard of education's been going down, not because of the length of time we've spent there. It's because we've been fucking with it.
Absolutely.
Right, Ricardo says school should be an internment facility until adulthood.
Yes.
Adulthood, preferably in one of those deserted islands in Scotland. He also comments that he loves children.
I don't think I've ever actually had a 9 to 5 job.
What hours do you work now?
25 minutes a week.
From what time to what time, though?
Whenever I feel like it. But when I worked in care, it was like 7 in the morning till like 2 in the afternoon, and then 4 till 10. So and then when I worked in a shopping centre, when I worked at Build-A-Bear.
How many bears did you steal?
None, but I stuffed quite a few.
You want to talk about stuffing bears?
No.
Let's go back to the smutty thing.
No. But then it was like, I don't know, like 8:30 till 6 or whatever. So I've never actually had like an official 9-to-5 job. So, and like when I went to the hospital, that was like 8 in the morning till 8 at night. So I don't even. I mean, does the 9-to-5 job still exist?
Oh, it does, very much so. But I don't think it's. I mean, shift work is still pretty common. But there still seems to be a core hour set for a day. I mean, I think yours is the biggest argument against it.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be suitable for lots of parents. You might get a quarter of a class that it would be great for.
I don't think anything is really suitable for like everyone. Do you know what I mean? It can't be.
You could have schools open for 16 hours a day.
Those poor kids.
It really depends on the age group of the children, because younger children cannot handle being under that kind of pressure, under that strict, like, sit down, shut up, and learn for more than a few hours.
You don't necessarily need to be teaching them for all that time.
Yeah, no, they're just at school. You can have a nice 24-hour school and little playgrounds and places to, look after them. If you want to visit your kids for 20 minutes, you can do so, and the rest of the time they're looked after by someone else until they're ready. It's brilliant.
I would miss Molly.
Yeah. I mean, my little crotch goblin's only like a whole year old, but I wouldn't put her in or anything like that.
Boarding schools. Brilliant.
Harmonica Man says, nope, somebody has to come home and let the dog out. That way they fart less during your favourite TV show. That'd be the kids then. Willie says, don't be sending any more kids, school kids over here. I'm assuming he's Scottish. It never occurred to me. I forgot. By the way, did you know David Melbourne wants to be renamed?
David Melbourne from Michigan?
Yeah, he wants to now be known as 80s teen heartthrob David Melbourne from Michigan.
No, it's not going to happen.
I think the big problem is what I see with extending like actual hours at children's schools is actually it's probably going to put a lot of pressure on teachers, which is few I spoke to, I think they're pretty damn hard as it is.
But if you extended the
money.
No, but if you extended the hours, you could have two teachers that overlap.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you have to
theoretically, but do you actually think there's going to, in reality, you're going to actually have a system where they actually want to employ more fucking teachers?
No, I think they try and beat the ones they've got until they work more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I read today.
Would go up as well.
I mean, to be honest, the trouble with our education system as it is anyway is that we spend more time testing kids than teaching them anything. Right.
You spend more time preparing for a test than you actually learning the material.
Yeah, I mean, they've been bringing in like ever since they brought in like blooming tests for like primary school children. I mean, it's a ridiculous idea. It really is.
Jenny says, I worked 12 to 16 hours a day. School should be 24 hours and far away. B says, just give them an extra recess.
There's the whole thing about like boarding school as well. Like my stepdad went to boarding school, and I don't think it made him like a particularly nice person. I think it kind of hardened him up to like emotionally. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. You get to see what the world's really like.
What in
I'd miss Molly if she was away from me for 16 hours a day.
How old is she now?
She's 3.
Right. Wait till she's 8. And then we're going to revisit this question.
That's a whole half decade from now. That's a long time.
It is.
And then we can revisit again when she's a teenager.
I hate you, Mum. I hate you.
Shut up, you angsty pickle.
I want to recreate the EastEnders scene where they're like, "You're not my mother." Yes, I am. It'll be great.
David
Okay,
Melbourne says,
I have no frame of reference to what you were talking about there.
Oh, okay, no worries. It's just EastEnders.
David Melbourne says, I think we should have more music, art, and critical thinking classes. See, this is what we could fill the extra time up with. Either that or we could sit down and make them read the Bible.
Dave, I want to punch you so hard in the balls that
Why
they'll
would
end
we
up on the
sit
top
them
of your head.
down? Why would we make them sit down and read the Bible?
It's just torture.
Yeah, well, because they don't allow corporal punishment in schools anymore.
You've been bad. Genesis chapter 1 for you, my lady.
No, if you're going to punish them, make it something boring like the entire book of Numbers.
B
It's
says,
like,
Dave, we should teach them actual facts.
Yes, exactly.
Ricardo says, I know, repurpose the American carriers to be schools. The accompanying fleet would be the dorms. Give them all the military life. From what, from age 4?
It's more. I think it's more the fact that you just want to people just want to send their kids as far away and out to sea as possible.
Most people do actually like their kids.
Mine's
Shame.
pretty cool.
Yours is pretty cool. Are you sure?
The people that don't like their kids are the people that didn't take the time to raise their kids properly.
Yeah. They
Tell
sent
me
them to
where I'm
school.
wrong.
They sent them to school the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of American Horror Story, and there's been some rather strange kids, completely unrelated to how their parents brought them up.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't think American Horror Story is exactly where we need to be getting our information from.
Oh, it's real.
Yes.
It is real.
It's a valid source of information.
Yeah, Godless Granny says Robin is very cool and Matt Pig is very complimentary about his kids. David Melbourne says he likes his kids at all ages. People like their kids. Ricardo says, I don't like other people's kids.
That's valid. You don't have to like other people's kids.
Harmonica Man says, it's very telling how many people are willing to torture kids for their own selfish needs, myself included. You see, chimney sweeps. Kids make great chimney sweeps. They're small, they can get in the places.
And miners.
Miners, I mean,
Yeah.
you haven't gonna have, don't need as high a tunnel. All that less digging is required.
Yes, but putting children to work is not okay.
Back when they were kids with chimney sweeps, they earned the limit. They learned good lessons about hard work and yeah.
None of this
You had
faffing
the
around.
job.
Oh, this is awkward.
Lucy, you do realise we're not serious, right? Don't you?
Santi says, the answer is no, I had a horrible time in school. Mathpig said, my mother used to say, have kids, legal slavery. Granny says, I loved school and I didn't want to go home. I loved school too. I would happily have stayed in school longer. B says, Dave, just grow their hair out and you don't even need a tool. Just dip them in head first. I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
If you made them a chimney sweep, that's what we said.
Oh yeah, that worked really well.
God damn, pay attention.
Right, so basically no one wants to extend the school hours.
No.
I would.
You
I
would.
don't see the benefit in it personally, but
Nerdy?
Yes, forever. Boarding schools for everyone. Yeah.
only would for very specific reasons,
well,
though.
well-
And the kids who got their shit done early could just go home. That's it.
I
But
haven't-
that doesn't solve the problem.
Sure it is.
I think we let's go old school. I mean, I haven't quite worked out the what we're going to do with like girls' education, but we'll bring back the Spartan Agogi for boys.
What the hell is the Spark and the Gogi?
That's where they're taken away from their families at 7 years old and learn to be soldiers, and the ones who make it to adulthood have done okay. It's basically like taking. It's basically like taking.
Is this
it's
natural
like taking-
selection in action?
Yeah, it's taking kids that are 7 years old or whatever, and then putting them through shit that would make SAS soldiers like cry for their mums.
7-year-old boys are boys annoying at 7 years old?
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah, my next door
Yeah,
neighbour.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You take them to be trained killers. They won't be as bad, will they?
No, they're just
No,
as bad,
they're
but they can kill.
They'll just kill you when they don't agree. And also, no, let's not do that.
Math Pig was apparently the perfect child.
I don't believe that. I don't.
No, I don't. Right.
I still contend that the Spartan Agogi is no worse than the Jedi Academy. Okay, so
No, I
No one
agree.
cares about the Jedi Academy. There's no Star
I
Wars
agree
fans
that they're
here.
both not
yeah,
great.
where's Badger when you need him?
I was about to say, I am
Tucked up.
wearing.
There we go. There we go.
I'm wearing my Jedi robe right now. I'm just saying, I don't agree. I think it's trash.
The last time when Math Pig tried to say that he was a perfect child, his mother was in the chat and objected very, very strongly.
It's okay. Well, his mom's not in the chat today. I know because he keeps checking.
All I'm saying is I see similarities between the Agoge and the Jedi Order. Is all I'm saying.
Oh no, I agree. They're both awful.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just...
I agree
Right.
with Jenny.
Next, yeah, that's what I was. All of a sudden, I'm going to read it out then. Jenny says all comparative religion classes in public schools should only be taught by atheists.
Correct.
Yes.
Because it's the only
Right.
way you're going to get a completely objective framework on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Atheists is going to say, yeah, they're all bullshit.
Well,
Right, next question. Question 924. Can you think of anyone more fitting for President of the UK than Stephen Fry?
well, seeing as I am not in the UK and I have no earthly idea who Stephen Fry is, I don't think I can answer this question.
Do you know who Jeeves and Wooster are?
No.
No.
Oh,
It's-
Stephen.
I barely know my own country's politics. I'm sorry, I don't keep up with everyone that's doing better than us. which
Stephen
is
Fry is not a
literally-
politician. Stephen Fry is not a politician.
I probably think of the people that are better qualified than Stephen Fry. Yes.
You think they would represent our countries as well?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, but I get a little. I just say, you know, I love Stephen Fry bits, but sometimes he spouts some fucking shit as well. He really spouts, and I get really pissed off with. I do kind of get pissed off with the way the atheist community just swoon over him as if he can do no fucking wrong,
No.
like they do with Dawkins. Like some of them do
Yes.
with Dawkins.
Yes. Harmonica Man says Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, same.
Same thing.
So it was the same thing. I mean, they were, but I actually think Hugh Laurie's actually probably more reasonable than Stephen.
I was
Fry.
going to say, I think Hugh Laurie said less concerning stuff.
Yes.
Do you know who Hugh Laurie is?
Yes, I do know who Hugh Laurie is.
Starky? House?
Nope.
Yeah, he's House from the TV show House.
Okay.
He and
I watched
Stephen
that
Fry,
once.
he and Stephen Fry were like a comedy double act for years in the UK.
Hugh and Laurie. Yeah.
Ricardo says Eddie Izzard.
Oh God, no.
Nerdy?
God, he put the word president in there, so that's confused everything.
It has. As in, President of the UK once we've done away with Prime Minister and Queen.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't at the moment think of anyone more fitting than Stephen Fry, but I'm sure that there is. I'd have to look at the candidate list in order to be able to.
I'd maintain that you've probably got Dave in this very call here, who'd probably be better than Stephen Fry.
I should change the question then.
Yeah, I'd be up for Dave as president.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But only if his ball comes too.
There is no way. There is no way.
He's 6'2", Lucy. Could you imagine a
Doesn't
statue of
matter.
that somewhere?
Dave is so
Dude.
wishy-washy. He cannot make a decision. He has people to tell him.
Have you seen our
And
president?
he's like, yeah, okay. There's no way.
Yeah, you see our current prime minister.
Oh, he'd be way better than Trump. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't deny I would be better than Trump.
Really
think
even for the
Hey,
US,
hey,
he
fair
would
enough.
be better
That
than
is
Trump is, I think, at this point.
Toby.
Sammy says Dave. Sammy says Dave
Wait,
repeatedly. Edard says Alan Davis.
I think you're
That'd be
just.
interesting.
I think you're going around the table with the QI participant here. I was going to say Ricky Gervais or someone along those lines.
Rob
I
Newman.
think kind of like Russell Brand as well. I think they're kind of like woke. I think we need someone that's a little bit more woke and a bit more sort of out there in their thinking rather than the traditional
never.
I've got a
lady.
Well, I've got a perfect solution. If you're going down comedy lines and you're along your way you're thinking, Lucy, Rob Newman, who's
No, I'm
got
not
the
thinking
intelligence.
comedy.
Yeah, who's got the intelligence of Stephen Fry. He's good, quite good politically, but not as batshit fucking crazy as Russell Brand either.
I'm
Have you
intrigued
ever
that you-
listened to Russell Brand talk on different sort of subjects?
You mean you're talking to someone who's as left as they come, and I found that bloody book Revolution to be the most wishy-washy fucking rubbish I've ever read.
Okay, well, I think Ricky Gervais is quite cool in the way that he calls out people in the entertainment industry on their bullshit, and
I think he
I
can be
think
quite cruel.
he's quite cool.
Stuart Lee, that's a good
Stuart
one.
Lee.
I don't
Dull.
know.
Leon Herring. Fist of Fun. I can't remember what it was. Show.
Well, that's going back some. That's going
It
back
is.
something.
Santi says Ricky
Mary
Gervais,
White
of course.
House.
David Melbourne says Nerdy Rodent for president. Only if he does the devil voice.
So you're saying as atheists we aren't biased?
No, who said that?
You said that. Did I say that?
No, they're arguing about comparative religion classes in school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Ricky Gervais would be cool to lead our country, but I don't think he'd want to do it. So, enough now.
Mark Thomas, that's a good shout.
Mark Thomas would be good. I quite like Mark Thomas.
Yeah, better than Stephen Fry.
I don't know. I don't think. I still think Stephen Fry would be a better representative.
Mark Steele, there we go. That's it. That would do.
I
You go,
vote
Rico-
Dave.
So you're still voting Dave.
I'm still
Dave,
voting Dave.
Dave needs to be told what to do on a regular basis, though. So.
You can be the
No.
like standing back there as the vice
Yeah.
president, Lucy.
We can be the advisors. If we tell
So
Dave what to do,
basically,
he just does
I'm
it.
in charge. Is that what we're
Dave-
saying?
I
Here's how it
mean,
would
his
go.
panel could basically be in charge, and if you're on his panel, you could be in charge of this whole thing.
Hmm.
Dave-
To be
Dave-
fair, when I'm in charge, I don't have problems making decisions.
Dave will be. Dave will be.
Ooh,
Dave,
it's gonna be a 6'2" statue in no time.
this is how it's going to work.
Troops in the
Dave?
street.
Dave will be present, but I will be his Sir Humphrey.
Ricardo says, clarifying question. Are we talking about someone who is going to govern or a representative of the state like the Queen? We are talking about a president. We're talking about president in the same way the US has a president. So in theory, they are just a figurehead. That's what they're meant to be. Good morning. Manda is doing okay. There were complications, but she is back home, and we'll get more information later.
Yeah. Best wishes to Amanda.
Oh, and I missed what Matpig said.
2.
Did I miss anybody? No, good, right. So, I'm president then. Great.
Oh,
I didn't agree to that.
There are enough votes.
Yeah.
Vice president, you're vice president.
We're not anarchists. We're not doing consensus decision making. Simple majority rule.
Simple majority rule. Very good. Right. I'm impressed. I'm quite disappointed that not more people didn't like Stephen Fry. Right. Nerdy is going to struggle with the next question.
Uh-oh.
I'll be back in 2, Dave.
Okay. Question 925. What is your favourite hand gesture?
Well, that's not fair. Nerdy doesn't have any hands.
It's this one. That one or that one?
Or that.
Well, I don't know because I quite like the history of this one,
Yeah.
but this one I feel does it.
You feel more attached to the second.
See, I feel that this one has better when it's moving.
Yeah, you have to flick it up a few times and yeah.
Right, whereas this one is just on its own, it works, you know.
But see, we don't do this in America. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's
not a
weird.
rude
No,
gesture
it's
here.
a British. Yeah.
So it's really
Yeah,
funny when
my
Americans.
horn.
It's funny when Americans are counting and they're going 1, 2, 2, 2, and they're sat there on the screen.
Yeah, Matthew's
family-
right. I think that's pretty.
That's
Pretty cool. But that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lucy.
If I'm really mad with Mark and I've like stormed out, or like, and then like I've got him and the wall between us, like,
Oh, I've done that.
oh, I love it. Just, yeah.
He's like, I love you. You walk into another room and you're like, I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah.
Wait there. I used my thumb, Dave. What do you mean you use your thumb? Is that the one where you're going to go?
This one.
You bite the thumb at someone. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I don't
Oh,
know what that is.
when she does a fuck you, she uses her thumb.
How's that work?
Keep your thumb like that.
Hey, Jeff. All right. Jeff says he does the. Has that got a name?
That kind of works.
It's like one of them
And
new
wait-
lightsabers with them.
I'm waiting for someone to do the Vulcan thing. I like the Vicky too. The V of the tongue. What's the V of the... Oh, that.
And no one's done the little wanking symbol yet.
I know, I was thinking of that.
Yeah, there you go.
I
I
V
haven't got
says
hands,
hers.
so.
I know.
No, he only gets that if he's been good.
He just wants
A
the
good
pickle.
pickle?
Willie says the bullhorns. Oh, the name of the thing. B says hers is the peace sign, which is that, isn't it? The right way around. Which I find funny. Godless Granny does the Vulcan one, which I can't do. Can someone please demonstrate? Oh, look at that! I hate you all.
Live long and prosper.
Shake weights.
There's always fuck off in sign language.
That is. Oh no, I can't remember what fuck off is.
And then a swipe. Or for the off, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh no! There. That's fuck. That's fuck you. Which I'm not high enough to do. That is fuck you. I used to know sign language. Disturbingly, I can't remember virtually any of it.
Brilliant.
Tadpole says, I like counting in binary on my hands. You suckers only get to 10 like a bunch of noobs. I remember having to count in binary to learn binary. It was something we did in college. It's fun.
No.
Right. What?
One. No. One. No.
I'll put the fingers up. Right, next question, I think. Ooh, I like the next question. Question 926. What farm animal makes the best garden pet?
You're a prick.
Goat!
You're an
It's obviously a
absolute
goat. Goat.
I'll just sit here and wait. I'm not bothered now.
Still goat.
Nerdy!
Goats, I think. A goat. You can have them in ones or twos. You can have a really small garden as well. And if your next door neighbour has dogs, then you can almost be certain that your goat's bleating will utterly set them off every 5 minutes, making it really annoying for that person. So yeah, a goat.
Mathpig says clearly a pig. Brian Griffin says gerbils. Are gerbils farm animals?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you get all the gerbils and then you milk them and sell the cheese.
You can milk gerbils?
You can make gerbil cheese?
Very carefully.
I guess that's a fair point.
B says rabbits. What? Godless Granny says, sometimes I need to show Dave the weird things I can do with my fingers. Most of my joints go... I'm not sure if that was meant in a smutty fashion.
Alright, I'm back. By the way, Dave,
No.
I'm back.
Hello? Shut up. What farm animal do you think makes a good pet? Garden
Possibly a goat.
The worst thing is I don't think Jeff has any
I
clue
said-
about the context.
Well, I just see the way Lucy's shaking her head there. Is there something I ought to be aware of here? Or...
My neighbours have a goat in their garden.
Okay.
It's quite a young
Yeah,
goat as well, isn't it?
Oh damn! Where's Crafty Keeler in the chat when you need her?
Yeah. It's good with goats.
I personally would go towards a sheep
Why a sheep?
because they're non-confrontational. They're not going to get aggressive and like beat down my neighbour's fence.
I've
They're
seen aggressive
cute.
sheep.
Yeah, but not like goat aggressive.
I've seen a guy walk across a field with a mallet and the sheep refusing to give up. The guy runs every few feet, stops, hits it with the mallet and runs some more, and the sheep carries on chasing him, trying to get him.
I'm not
Sounds
surprised
like a
if you're
game.
hitting a sheep with a mallet.
He was...
Where did he get the mallet from?
We were pitching a tent. So he had a rubber mallet in his hand when the sheep attacked him.
Maybe the sheep thought it was foreplay.
Maybe.
What about an alpaca?
What are alpacas like?
They spit.
That's just llamas stuff, isn't it?
I thought they all spit, them and camels, all the ones with the little tulips in the front on the top.
The little tulips.
Camels, alpacas, and llamas all have the little split upper lip.
Do
Like
they?
Alien versus Predator creatures.
And they all have
The whole
those weird
mouth.
upper teeth, their bottom teeth, or whatever, stick out all like ridiculous.
generally, alpacas. Yeah, they can spit. I suppose when they feel like stressed or threatened, but generally pretty placid.
I'd have spitting issues from not getting anything that spits.
I think you're more likely to get it off a llama than an alpaca.
I'll take ducks in my garden. They act like dogs.
See, that's quite a
I had
clever
two.
answer.
One of them was duck, the other was goose. You go out there and say duck, goose, and they would come waddling up and quack for you, and they'd eat all the snails, and they dug up all the dirt so it was fresh, and their poo is pretty beneficial.
You do not want to keep geese. They're aggressive little buggers.
Yeah, I'm not big on the geese either.
No, geese will attack you.
Ducks. I thought rabbits for a second, but I feel like they're not as you don't get eggs.
They're not really a farmyard animal as such. I think they're generally cut.
Oh, you say they're definitely a farmyard animal. They're all over almost all farms.
Yeah, they're generally.
I mean, they don't want them there.
They're regarded as pests, though.
Yeah.
I thought you were going down like the bovine thread with this. So.
No, I said any farm. I said any farm animal.
Oh, okay.
Nice chicken.
Yeah, I was wondering whether chickens had come up.
The thing is with chickens is they do make good pets, but with all of these, all I'm thinking of is the rats.
The rats.
I was just thinking of the noise.
You want to keep rats? Rats are lovely.
No, but with any of these animals, the rats will come.
How do you know this?
Eat rats, though.
How do I know this? Because
Yes.
I keep animals.
And they all have rats.
And the rats will come.
Well, there's dinner there, so. Nom 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 nom.
That's why it's handy to be a decent shot with an air rifle for rats.
No.
I'll keep wild cats. No. You don't think? And this all of a sudden the pickle just gets shot in the head and falls down dead.
Goats will pretty much eat anything as well.
Chad Hall. Go on.
So, they will destroy anything, and they're very good at escaping. If they want to escape, they will escape. So,
You think they'll try to escape into your garden?
not at the moment, but it has tried to hang itself on the trampoline.
This is what you get for giving it a trampoline to play with.
One time my ex went to pet a goat, and the goat took off one of her dreadlocks.
Right. Chad Hall says, goats, rabbits, dogs and foxes. I may need a boat and a math degree to get them across the river. In short order, sans casualties. Ricardo says, geese or a bull for the giggles. Santi says, a cow. They are like a big dog.
Cows, their tongues are awful. Just so everyone knows.
I like their tongues.
Do you?
Too
Interesting.
rough.
I don't like a cat's tongue, though, with the little backward spikes. Those freak me out.
Harmonica Man says, barn cats. They would fertilise the garden and not eat the plants.
Okay. If we're going like all farmyard animals that might, maybe not necessarily domesticated, I would want a barn owl.
No, you can't have a barn owl. They're not farmed.
Yeah, but it rhymes with farm.
If they live in a barn, they're probably on a farm.
There we go, look. Sorted.
David Melbourne says, pigs, they are really only the smart ones. They're really the only smart ones. Are your pigs smart?
My pigs are lovely.
Are they?
Pigs are smart. They're very smart creatures.
They're the cleanest animals that you can find.
Wait till they eat a human body.
Math Pig says, ostriches, huge omelettes.
Yeah.
Godless Granny says, ducks. Sammy says, geese make good guard geese. David Melbourne says that Sheep was planning on pitching his own tent. He wanted a mallet. Chad says, in Canada, our gardens are kind of open. We already have deer, and those are nice. Coyotes less so.
Yeah.
B says snakes are the best garden animals. They eat the bugs and they eat the bugs that destroy any crops. Good point. Are there? What's a garden pet? Good point, and Joe. What's a garden pet? Dave showing his poshness again. Harmonica Man says the pigs in our White House aren't very smart.
Correct.
Katnip.
I don't know.
You don't fancy a goat?
Goats are nice and all, but given my front yard, I would have to fence it in for any animal, and I'm just not trying to do that. I live on a main street, so if I didn't fence it in, we just have a lot of very interesting roadkill. I just don't think about that.
Fair enough.
If I had like some really hardcore like religious neighbours though, I might actually just keep goats and just as long as I can make sure they're the most evil, satanic looking goats you can possibly get. Just to...
Have you ever looked into a goat's eyes? It's a terrifying experience, aside from the fact that they are entirely lovely creatures. They love to be scratched. Give them little head scratches.
They love to butt.
Not always.
And chew. Butt.
Male goats, yes. Female goats, not so much. They're not quite as angsty.
They carry like herpes and stuff as well, so you don't really want them like licking you and stuff.
It's true.
They
Don't touch their poo.
Don't snog a goat.
Not good for you.
Big Zebra says maybe a snail would be a good garden pet. Also, ladybugs. They eat aphids. Not quite the point. They're not really farmed. Well, they do farm some snails. Right. Next question. Question 927. What do you think of salespeople who continually use your name?
They're weird. Very weird.
What do you mean? Like if I was going to go and buy a sofa and someone's like, "So Lucy, do you want this sofa, Lucy?" It would make it like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Like if it goes with the flow of conversation, I think it's a little okay. But if it doesn't go with the flow of conversation and they're just using your name like it's a comma in a sentence, no thank you. That's just weird.
They are using it to try and imply intimacy. A connection to you.
He brings up a very valid point in the chat. Who tells them your name?
You do. They will ask your name very often.
Are they fit?
Godless Granny says irritating. Big Zebra says I've been in sales and that is pretty cheesy.
I'm gonna give an answer to this question, and it's going to be a callback to an earlier question about hand gestures.
Well, if she's really attractive and coming on to me, then yeah, that's fine. I'm all right with that.
You mean like
actually, if I get a discount, if I can get 20%, I'm up for that.
If
you ever go to something like when I got some tickets to go to British Superbikes at Brands Hatch one time, a friend. They very much used glamour model. The insurance companies very much used the glamour models to try and sell people motorcycle insurance. You had things like the Bennett's girls or the Carol Nash girls. And it is a technique that it is a technique people will use for sales. Do I think it's a very tasteful technique? No. Do I think it's exploitative? Highly. But it is a technique that companies will use.
Big Zebra says if the salesperson wants to imply intimacy, they should offer me a hand job. Godless Granny says it's a tactic they are taught. They are told people buy more when you do. Chad Hall says, I say it's okay. People are just people, and most people don't want the bullshit on either side. If one person chooses to try and respect me, sure. Transparent attempts at intimacy are easy to spot. They're not easy to spot for everyone is the problem. Sammy says, it turns me right off. I send them away and say I'm just browsing. I agree. I tend to dismiss them. Go. We're done with you.
What would annoy me more is if somebody abbreviated my name. Like, I cannot stand it when people call me Loose.
I can understand why.
Loose. And my
Strong
friend...
Loose.
Too many brand plates.
And then my friend called Judith, obviously for the same reason, didn't like her name being abbreviated either. I think that like only like really close friends would get away with calling me Loose. So that would really irritate me. I think I'd walk away or say it. Actually, my name's Lucy. But yeah, I think it's too over friendly, and it might be a tactic that they are taught or a technique or whatever. But I wouldn't like it, and I wouldn't buy more. I know that what the theory is and everything, but
See, I'm a little different. I prefer my name being abbreviated.
Oh, okay.
It's just God then, isn't it?
No. No, what do you think my full name actually is?
Godless Scummer.
Boy, how long has he been watching this show and he doesn't actually know what my real first name is?
Jeff, yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
know.
so
Nerdy knows pretty much everything.
Yeah. Actually, technically, if you really want to get into the linguistics of it, Jeff could actually kind of mean God as well, but just saying.
Ike says, if you want my money, I'm sir or ma'am. Harmonica Man says, if they're selling time with a prostitute, I would not like my name mentioned.
Fair point.
I've got this thing about people that like say 50 words when they could say 10, and salespeople are very much on the 50 word side. So it would just annoy me anyway, like the fact that you're just word like.
You're all right, Lucy. You made your point.
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, if I'm paying them, they should call me the name that I'm paying for.
Starky.
I don't like salespeople. Unless I'm ready to buy, they need to get the F away from me. That's just how it is. They won't even know my name until I'm ready to check out, type of thing.
Do you not get phone calls?
No. We call that telemarketing, and we hang up on that in this country.
Or you could be my brother, and he kept getting called by the same telemarketer, so he just answered the phone and started playing Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley to the phone.
Win.
I don't hardly ever get calls. I've put myself on all the national do not call lists, so maybe 3 a year on average.
Actually, I've actually sort of very quickly done that to a sales call before. Oh yeah, so saving some my electricity bill. I'd love that, and then just like put my mobile up to the receiver and start playing Beethoven's Ode to Joy in the background, and then just say, "Your hell's in the queue and will be answered shortly." Payback.
Katnip?
No, they don't need to. Like I said, if it comes up in a normal conversation, like I say your name all the time, Dave, because I want you to be sure that I'm speaking to you. But I don't say your name after literally every word I say, because that's not how sentences work. So if it comes up naturally, and it's more like a conversation than a sales pitch, then I don't think it's really that big a problem. However, majority, it's going to be more like a sales pitch, so I'd rather them just not use my name at all.
See, that's where I just want them to not talk to me.
Yeah.
Hey, can I help you find anything? Nope, I'm good. I'll come find you when I need you. And just keep, typically the only salesmen we have are car salesmen, so that's the only thing I'm really thinking of. But
yeah.
Does that mean you don't go into Starbucks and then when they ask your name, you just
I don't
give them
really leave
something
my house
stupid?
unless I have to.
Yeah, me neither.
What do you do when you go to Starbucks then?
Well, you can just give them any name, can't you?
Yep.
They ask you what's your name, and my first immediate answer is, well, in my head, I'm like, there's no way I'm telling you what my real name is. I have to think of something amusing in the next 3, 2, 1.
I'm surprised you don't just answer nerdy now.
Yeah, I should do.
Mr. Pickle.
Mr. Pickle. I want to know what happened during his avocado phase.
Oh, Mr. Pitt.
Right, next question. Question 928. Have you had anything positive come out of the quarantine?
Yes. Critical questions.
I think some would argue that that's not a positive.
As much as we like to joke and deprecate on this show, that actually, no, I'm gonna say good. I'm gonna say good word, not just about the show, but got perhaps wouldn't have been around this kind of community and got to know some people as well as I have had of this thing not been going on. So
fair enough. Yandia says hell no. B says yup, a hard rock pickle. Have you not met B? Mathpig says Manda.
Oh.
there you go, bringing people together. The quarantine, lockdown.
Senti, yep, I figured out who around me is a Trump supporter. That's
Fair
actually
point.
quite good.
In Florida, that's everybody. Sorry, Santy. You need to not be in Florida.
So I wouldn't say necessarily about necessarily what Trump support, but it's definitely helped me wean out a few fucking idiots from my circles or whatever. Where like people who I thought were quite reasonable, being like suddenly find out they're buying into like this 5G fucking COVID conspiracy shit, and it's like,
God.
okay, I'm not so certain these are the sort of people actually wants to be around anymore.
Yeah, my only problem, Jeff, is I've come to that same realization, but I'm related to all of them.
That's bad.
So I can't get rid of them.
Harmonica Man says less traffic. Remember,
You don't have to. The virus will do that for you.
eventually.
Well, not anymore, because all of the small towns around my state refuses to go into another state of emergency. However, all of the small towns in my state have decided, fuck you, we're all in a state of emergency. Fucking put your mask on or get arrested. So now everybody's wearing masks, and they're bitching because now they have to.
Mm.
So no, it won't kill them, unfortunately.
They're still going to get it. Sammy says, on a serious note, I have been able to employ dozens of people in a time when most are losing their jobs. Starky.
Well, I went on a road trip, but I can't think of anything that really, like, for me personally, that came out of just the quarantine thing in general.
Fair enough.
I think I met Lucy before quarantine, so as long as that happened before that, then not really. Otherwise, I got her from quarantine.
Lucy.
Me and my partner's relationship was like better during quarantine. And my overall like mental health has been better during quarantine. I've been able to go out during quarantine. My social anxiety is purely, agoraphobia is purely based on people coming too close to me. And how I will react when, like, if you're in the queue at the pharmacy and someone's like too close behind you, and like you've got your daughter with you and they're breathing the germs and shit all over you. So like this has improved my life no end because I can go out and no one's allowed near me. However, it's all lifting. as I found out today when I went to Tesco's, and I don't want to go out ever again now because they've lifted all the restrictions and everyone can come at you every which way. So
You need to learn a new skill.
yeah,
Farting. And then they move away from the smell.
coughing.
Coughing.
Yeah.
So
go.
yeah, like my mental health was better, my relationship was better when the pubs were shut. Like just loving it, and now it's all getting lifted. So the good thing that I had from quarantine was my mental health improved, but it's rapidly going downhill again. So I'm gonna go with everyone else and go the YouTube community.
See, I could agree with hers completely. That same shit happened to me. My road trip, perfect. Everyone was staying away from me. No one was like making me nervous. No anxiety whatsoever.
In times of crisis, you definitely learn who your true friends are through like different opinions that they have. Like Godless Scummer said, you're like, I didn't realize you were that thick. Do you know what I mean? Or like you haven't reached out once during this whole thing. So I think like it's definitely brought like a cleanse to my life. Like some people, where have you been? So yeah.
Chad says the majority of people are learning how to slow down and be more mindful, intentional about their needs and wants. I think that's going to go away is the problem. Ricardo says, I've had the pleasure to find an extraordinary group of people online to interact with and have great conversations, and I regret not getting more involved. And everyone's saying that Math Pig won.
Did I answer this question?
Your family. I don't know whether that was your answer, actually. You commented on Jeff's answer. So you found out that your family they all happen to be Trump supporters.
Well, that's not my favorite thing that I've found out, Barry.
Oh, what have you found?
My middle school best friend has come back and reclaimed her place as my best friend.
That's quite cool.
She is back now. So that's rad. It's rad to have her back.
It's nice to have a best friend.
Is it?
I don't have one, but it's
What's
nice to have one.
What's
It's
a
nice
best
to
friend?
have the one that through my angsty Christian middle school days that realizes that I'm not completely insane anymore.
What's a best friend look like?
Well, my internet best friend is you, Dave, so
That can't be true.
you're the one I talk to the most.
Crap.
He's mine.
You get him dirt. Jesus. Calm down. Holy shit.
Do the other one.
He's mine.
I can't go that high after
No,
getting
thank you. No, thank you, tiny child human person. No, thank you.
He's livid. Look.
Freaked
You're gonna
out by the
pout.
voices? I don't know what that pickle is over there, but I think it's time for him to go in the trash. He's been in the vinegar too long.
Sammy says hands off bitches.
Because I'm not a bitch, I'll keep my hands very much on. Thank you.
Right.
We can all share Dave. There's enough of Dave to go around until somebody else pops a ball.
He's 6'2".
I'm only 5'3.5", so
5'4", and shrinking daily. We got this.
5'2".
it's okay, Lucy.
What's with all the small people? How tall's Jeff?
With all the tall people and a bouncing ball.
How tall are you, Nerdy?
5'6".
That's quite short, actually.
Jeff is gone, so
We'll just assume he's 5'2", just because he's not here to answer.
I'll ask him when he gets back. Because I'm curious now. I'm used to being the shortest one in anywhere, but I guess Lucy's got me beat. But it's okay, Lucy.
Sorry.
Sorry. She makes up for it by being constantly off balance.
I'm sorry. I mean, at least being short, we don't have far to hit the floor. Don't mind me, I just had a tiny stroke.
I feel like
Apparently
it
my
hurts
muscles-
just as bad from this height.
Well, yeah. Still
You
sucks.
should try it from 6'2". It's a
Yeah.
long way down.
Been on a horse, fallen off multiple times. I feel like I've been there too.
That sounds unfortunate. Falling off of a horse. Stop.
Now we're getting everyone's sizes.
Normal.
Oki Grower is 5'8". Yandir is 5'4". Aunt Jer is 5'2". Sammy is 5'10". You can fit in a box. I'm in a box.
Well,
Right.
really, almost anybody can fit in a box because that's what a casket is. It's just a box. That
I was gonna say,
There you go.
big box.
Northern Trail Dog says 6'2". Chad Hall is
What's with all you
6'2".
giants.
B is 5'6".
Well, damn. Now I definitely know I have to look up to B in more than one way. I was already looking up to her because she's great.
Santi is 5'9". I'm really looking forward to meeting Lucy now. I'm just going to step really close to her and just look.
Christ.
Right, next question. Oh, here we go. We're there. Thank God for that. Jeff is 5'10". That's actually, is that quite tall for a guy?
Normal.
It's like medium.
Medium.
Middle of the road.
Yes, it's very tall.
It's very tall. Well, normal being about 5'6".
Yes, that's normal sized. Yeah.
That's normal
Not
size.
5'6" for a man is
5'6"
not
for a man
normal.
is
That is short.
That's normal sized.
I feel like anything 5'8" and taller is normal for a guy,
Yeah.
and
tall. Yeah.
anything 5'6" and under is normal for a girl.
One of my neighbors
There's
is
like
cutting
you're
a-
in that middle land where you could just be either
Say that again.
normal.
Katnip.
I said one of my neighbors is cutting the grass and I want to beat them with a stick. A child is trying to sleep. Stop.
Get a slingshot and a brick.
Right.
I don't want to kill them. I just want to make their life more difficult.
Get a goat.
Yeah, the coat. Yeah, exactly.
We tested this system. We selected one random family from around the country and sent them a goat. Jeez.
Lucy's gonna get you with something.
This is gonna hurt me.
She's
Remember,
going
she
to
only
kill you.
needs a 12-inch long stick to hit your face with something, you know? That's the only height difference there.
Whack.
Yeah, but what worries me is not the height difference up there, it's the fact that her knee will reach.
Yeah, she's pretty flexible, so she could probably even get her toes up there.
That's not what I was thinking.
Waist height, Starky. Waist height.
Yeah, it's
I know, but his waist still probably be up here. You could probably headbutt him. Just use your head.
Climb the ladder, then headbutt him.
Get me yellow pages out.
It's actually weird. It's actually weird to picture you, Dave, being like as tall as that. Or it's actually just weird to picture Dave with a body because I just sort of know it was a disembodied head.
Same.
It's like Holly
stood-
from Red Dwarf.
Before the show, I stood up to show them how tall I was.
It's kind of hard because you were still against the green screen wearing a green mask. Your head disappeared.
Was I around for that conversation?
I don't think
Yes.
that's
Dog bark.
what happened. Right before
You were definitely here.
So,
I
so
stood
you're
up.
saying,
Genuinely don't remember that.
so we're saying that it'd be less painful for one of us to say if our bouncing ball popped underneath us than it was for you.
Not really. The ball's the same height. That's how far you fall. I mean, if you've got a smaller gut than me, it would probably have hurt less.
Well, you have no fucking worries.
Here you go. Santi says, I always figured Jeff was really short. I'm shocked. You see, you can tell generally you can tell whether or not people care about their height and whether or not they're short online. Because they position their camera so that they are up here.
Not like this. Not the thing, yeah.
What does it say about me to make myself in the last half of the frame?
That you don't give a shit.
Awesome.
You're trying to show us your googly-eyed friend in the background.
It's Cookie Monster. It was an accidental tie-dye and it came out perfect.
I love it.
I'm saying, listen, I've got my chair about as high as it actually goes. So
I didn't think you were 5'10". I thought you were shorter than that.
there
I
you
wouldn't.
go.
Not much though. Right. Next question. Question 929. If humans had to mate with another species to reproduce, what species would you pick?
Rodents.
That was just a teensy bit weird. Just the way that you said it.
It's
Well, look at the
sounds
question.
like it. It sounds like it's gonna, this is going to be the problem. Any way we answer this, it's going to be wrong. It's going to be bad.
Oki says aliens. Yandir says dog. B says chimp. Antjer says not ducks.
No, they got a corkscrew down there. You don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want corkscrew penis.
Nobody said goats. I noticed.
Just,
I can't answer this.
and that's why her eyes went greener.
I have such an issue with bestiality that it's just like,
But no, because we're not talking about shagging it.
Well, if we are talking
Mate.
reproducing,
Well,
are we talking about
reproduction,
artificial-
getting pregnant. How does
We're
that
talk-
happen, Dave?
Well, when the mummy pickle and the daddy.
Chad says, pragmatically speaking, I vote dog. Santi says, a lioness. Sammy says, pigs.
I've got a feeling a chimpanzee is going to be the most feasible, but
Well, we're
Yeah.
assuming that size and scale is overcome for the spirit of the question.
So a nice yeti, then that would be all right.
Yes. As would
so
a rodent of some sort.
cryptozoology is allowed in this.
No, Bigfoot
Cryptozoological-
exists.
Well, yeah, there we go. So cryptozoological animals exist for the purpose of this question.
Why? You fancy Loch Ness?
Oh, well, you know, why not? Yeah, Nessie could be quite interesting. You know.
I've certainly seen her in some animations quite alluring.
Yeah.
Starky gone.
Okay, ready? A horse, a narwhal, and an albatross. Then we could create flying unicorn Pegasus horses. Centaurs with you.
This was who are you going to mate with?
Well, I'll do the horse. Somebody else can then that kid can do the albatross, and then that one can do the narwhal, and then you'd get the horn. You'd have the ability to swim, the horsey type body, big wings of an albatross, and the horn of a narwhal, and then you'd have the upper body of the human, so you'd be like a centaur, unicorn.
You really need a
Pegasus.
turtle.
If I now.
Did you wake and bake this morning?
I was doing it just before the show started.
If I were to reproduce and produce a hybrid with a dog, okay, I would have
Golden
to,
Retriever?
I have to wait a few years, but this would be my plan. I would challenge Kent Hoving to a debate and just wait for him to say, nobody's ever seen a dog produce something that's not a dog. They're like, come out, son.
I'd wonder if you'd start sniffing crotches, though, half dog. And that's just kind of...
And you have the farts. Randy
Yeah.
Bigfoot asks, how is he supposed to answer this? I think you could answer it by saying human. Chad says sea cucumber. You can carry it around with you and it works for both sexes. He's very pleased with that answer. Antjer says, if we're including cryptids, mermaids. Stool is going to be ecstatic that he missed us mentioning mermaids. Yes.
Everyone... Have you ever seen what a dog sticks their nose in?
Yeah.
Does it stick its nose in poo?
Sometimes they get worms from smelling other dogs' poo. Disgusting.
Fresh.
Apparently, there are still people that hang out around here that don't know that Dave is Dave.
No, we don't.
Your name is literally underneath.
No, it's not.
No,
Oh,
not
it's
online.
But not for other people.
Nope. No one knows who I am. I'm completely anonymous,
You
unique.
Dave.
I blend into the
Pay
background.
no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's just Dave.
I want to apologize for being here. Welcome to here, but this is Dave.
Katnip.
I would just not reproduce with anything.
You don't like your baby. Thought you liked your baby.
I do like my baby, but I would also like to continue reproducing with my husband, who is not of a different species.
Lucy.
Well, I'm not really sure about the format of the question, if I'm honest with you. Because I was under the impression that are we trying to just make a mythical creature, or are
No,
we
to be
trying
quite honest, we are trying to make humans.
Well, if you're trying to make humans, then you would have to go, like Godless Scummer said, for the chimpanzee or the gorilla. And then you would sort of be starting the whole evolution process again, surely. So then you would eventually come to a human.
Not necessarily, but okay.
Not necessarily, but okay. This is how I'm answering the question, Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
So we could get
I
into the
often
whole
wonder if
debate
Dave
about.
is short for David.
Well, see, we could go into the whole debate of whether Homo sapiens and Neanderthals ever read.
Don't ask that
can't we?
question.
Too late, I already have.
No, you haven't.
So obviously, I would have to go with the gorilla or the chimpanzee.
You don't fancy a German Shepherd?
How would that make another human?
Oh, Dave, now what have you done? You said that.
How would we be going towards the human route?
Well,
if we were-
you're not quite. But I've got the clarification slightly wrong, and
You clarified the question and changed it completely.
Well,
How?
just
I just screwed it up.
clarify,
I screwed it up
Like-
completely.
just to clarify, some people out there do look at their animals and think,
I'll have
I
a
would.
bit of that.
I can honestly say now to everybody watching, I have
That's fine.
never looked at my German Shepherd and thought, do you know what? Me and you, let's get it on.
What about horses?
Never.
Never. I thought all girls looked at horses and thought, "Wow."
Yeah, see, I was in the shop and they had this nice magazine, Horse Love, and I was looking at the pictures.
She's gone red.
In answer to your question, if we were trying to get to the old human, we would either do chimpanzee or gorilla. That's my answer.
What about bonobos? Aren't they quite close as well?
I don't know what a nobo
Yeah,
is.
and they're very, very similar, I suppose, to chimpanzee. There's also very identical advices. Bonobos also are horny as fuck as well.
Are they? Are they the ones that shag
well,
anything?
So they pretty it's like sex is a huge part of their sort of social structure. So like they settle argue, after instead of like hugging or something, if they settle an argument, they'll have sex to make up. It's just.
Are you okay?
Bonobo. And bonobos generally, so not in every case, but generally, they're more matriarchal in their societies. Like, generally, like the alpha is a female in the group. With chimpanzees, it's generally like the alpha's a male. I mean, so probably I've a while since I read it, but like Franz de Waal's done some excellent sort of books on the subjects like chimpanzees and bonobos and stuff. So
I mean, I'm a little bit up for having an enormous, brightly coloured arse, I have to say.
That fits very well with the question that I'm not asking. Jenny says, I suppose a Republican.
Jenny wins the internet.
Yes. Right. Penultimate question.
Can I just say, when
What?
you read out the number of the question, it automatically makes me feel really tired.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like question 9,742, and I'm like,
We're going to make it to 1,000 soon.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Well done.
3 is like, oh.
Why is that making you tired? Like, you answered, what, how many in one night?
I know, but thanks for watching.
Probably what?
Like and subscribe.
Ring my bell.
You got see you didn't have this sort of situation. If you were lucky, you got to speed answer these things. We don't get that luxury.
I'm on my best behaviour today. Next.
Next.
Right.
Sorry, Dave. Carry on.
Question 930. What?
Wait a second. Did you answer the last question?
Yes.
Yeah, Dave.
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
sure I
actually,
did.
we do have to realize just because man does not hear at the moment doesn't mean you get out of answering questions.
I think he's not answered most of them up until now, but
Probably, yeah. But, yeah, that's definitely. It's
I
good
was
for you
told
to.
last night we're not allowed to ask him to answer the question, so I haven't.
that was a lie.
Come on, I actually super chatted him yesterday to say, Dave, answer the question.
Right, next question.
What?
What? The next
I didn't
question.
I didn't get what your answer was, though.
I answered earlier.
Which was?
I forget. I'll go with the Republicans. I quite like that answer. Sammy, shh. Right. Question
You can't just
930.
scam he's in the live chat.
I know. Question 930. Would you rather lick a randomly selected stranger's foot or have them lick yours?
Well, that's easy, isn't it?
That's quite an easy question.
That is like the easiest question I have ever heard.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nerdy.
No.
I would
There's
rather
no way.
them lick my foot because at least then I know they're not going to get any weird disease. If I
You-
lick their foot, I don't know that I'm going to get that same luxury of
What
not
if their
getting weird
tongue is
disease.
dirty? You don't know what's on their tongue.
Well, worst case
But it's easy-
case scenario, there's something weird on their tongue and I have to just amputate my foot, you know. Worst
Here's
case
the thing,
scenario.
though.
I don't know.
It's easy enough to wash. It's easy enough to wash your own foot after they've done that. So once you've taken a lick of someone, you kind of got whatever on their feet. You ain't getting rid of it. Unless you have a bottle of just happen to have a bottle of some really powerful mouthwash right next to you after you've done it.
Just get some like 100 proof and down the whole bottle, you'll be alright.
Jenny
Or you'll
says-
be dead.
You see me. Come on. You've seen me on the majority of those streams. That amount of alcohol's not going to have much effect on me.
You just needed to disinfect your tongue and whatever
I-
you consume.
I'm behaving today. I'm on soft drinks.
Oh, sorry. We got Jenny says lick my feet. Aunt Jer says lick mine. Chad says easy, they lick yours. Sammy says I'm extremely ticklish, I would have to lick theirs. B says not licking any motherfucking foot. Jenny says lick me, lick me. Jenny says, is this a single lick or a lick to climax? You can climax from having someone licking your feet.
Some people can.
Yandia says, lick mine, I don't want stinky feet. Right.
I don't.
Jeff!
I think I've pretty much answered this already. There's no way I'm licking a random stranger's feet. So, obvious answer there.
Lucy.
Suicide. I cannot stand feet at all. I've never liked feet. Never ever liked feet. I hate feet. Get the feet away from me. Don't come near my feet. So, suicide. If I had to.
Was that presented as an option here?
No. That is not an option.
There is no way Mark would have to lick my feet then, because he had sepsis that was eating his foot away, and he has always suffered really badly from athlete's foot. We cannot get rid of it, so he would have to lick my feet.
Didn't it say
He is not.
random,
He is.
Did it
he-
say a random stranger?
Yes, it's a random stranger.
Lucy, but
Not Mark.
I'd have to
we are.
feet then, but I mean, I'm doing it under duress.
Katnip.
I would let someone else lick my foot, because worst case scenario, I have to cut my foot off. Or if they try to get too zesty and start like sucking my toes or something, I can just kick them in the face. You know? And at least I know that they're not going to get any weird diseases from my foot. I don't know that I'm not going to get a weird disease from somebody else's.
Yeah.
So,
Yandia says, I wish I had cat feet. Sammy says, God almighty, Lucy, now I have to change my answer. What's Mark's answer?
I'm not asking him.
Ask him!
Oh. Mark, if you had to have a random stranger lick your feet,
My feet.
or you had to lick their feet, which would you choose?
Let them lick us.
it's just the right answer.
Yeah,
She knows what his feet are like, though.
You didn't see the flesh-eating disease he had on his feet. Yeah,
Ricardo says,
Talking
I'll
about
join.
things earlier. Because I talked about things earlier where it's like, anything can be kinky. Somebody might be into that.
I'm sure someone is.
We don't kink shame on here.
Yeah,
They don't kick shit.
somebody isn't.
I just can't stand feet, like, at all. I hate them.
Ricardo says, I'll join Lucy Luxor looking with disgust at you peeps. And B says, I'll put on a foot condom right before they lick. That's outside the spirit of the question.
And yet
Starky.
still completely valid.
No.
If condoms are allowed, they can put one on their tongue and I'll put one on my foot and then you can get to licking, but
No, they're not
I don't
allowed.
want diseases from other people's tongues because I walk around barefoot. It's totally possible there's a cut on my foot somewhere and I don't need nothing from people. They're disgusting. Ugh, human spit is nasty. No, I'm going with death too.
Is a condom gonna fit on a foot?
Yes, I've put one on before. It doesn't even have to be a Magnum one. They totally stretch that big.
I kind of need context as to why.
It's alright, she'll be demonstrating in the live stream
Like
later.
17, 18. I was bored. There was a huge Costco box of them. What else are you supposed to do with
I'm
them?
so bored right now.
Make
I don't want to.
Also, a foot is quite
each
small
other
compared
with
to
water
my
balloons.
My foot's pretty wide though. I got some girth on it.
Have you? The girth that matters. Sammy, yeah. Is death an option in this question? No, it's not an option. They keep trying to kill themselves. I'll bring them back and make them choose. Right, the last question.
So,
Question 931. Would you rather have inflatable feet that you could blow up to walk on water, or a meter-long nose that you could use as a snorkel to breathe underwater?
Elephant
Blow
trunk.
up feet.
No,
What?
the blow up feet. You're top heavy. You'll end up underwater, and then you'll be walking underneath the water, not on top of it.
I don't see how you're not really going to be walking on water with
How
that.
big you can blow up the feet. If you can blow them up enough to counteract your weight, then you would walk on water.
We're talking like right.
Big
I want a trunk. I still want the trunk. I want to load
We're
it.
talking
with
like
a
life
smoothie
raft size here, and
Santy asks a good question. Do the feet deflate?
Well, they can get punctures, but yes, they do deflate.
So
if
they-
you back.
so-
Sounds
Yeah,
painful.
see, that's a bit scary. That considering what I do for a job, that one day I could be out doing my job and suddenly my feet go the way of Dave's bouncy ball.
Plop.
Don't pounce. You use them on water, not on the road.
At least there wouldn't be an ow.
I do-
Thankfully, well, as I don't actually have to use them, I will go for the feet. As you don't have to, I don't actually have to use them to. I don't actually have to inflate them. Is what I'm saying here.
Nope.
The nose
So-
retractable, or
What?
Trunk.
is the nose
It is-
retractable, or does it?
No.
does
Well,
it
no,
stay
no,
up
no. It
or-
dangles down when it's not erect.
Oh, okay.
So I think I think there that the feet are going to be a more practical option because I don't have to blow them up, and I don't have to like. I've never needed to actually cross a body of water to deliver a parcel as of yet. So
Yeah, but if you had these feet, I think they would get you to.
I would be filing an appropriate complaint with my union rep.
Very strongly worded letter.
It would be followed by a grievance and procedures, and then eventually I'd just say fuck the trade union out, all out the door. There we go, problem solved.
Santi said, "I'll take the feet then." Antjer says, "Feet because they'd only temporarily weird." Yandia says, "I need the snorkel." Chad Hall says, "Snorkel, oh my fucking sweet merciful Christ in heaven, snorkel." Sammy says, "Last time trunk was an option and no one wanted it. I went for trunk for reasons I'll keep to myself then. And I'll go with that answer again." The problem you have is this isn't a trunk. This is not...
It's just your nose, but longer.
well, no, it's just like a long pipe. All it does is it gets erect and goes as a snorkel. Its
So it's
features
like
are...
got
Not seeing the problem.
penile tissue in there. Basically, you can pump it full of blood and it will.
Yeah.
If
So
the
it's not-
feet are
Above the water.
inflated, do you
You
still
can't-
have to physically exert the energy to walk across water? Then yes, you don't have motors on the back. You don't have a little rope.
But you could you could take a board with you. You could take a paddle with you.
You can punt with a big stick.
But are you gonna put two motors on the back of your feet so you can ice skate through with rocket power on the back?
Have
And,
you not
that's
seen
how
the
you're
little
gonna do it?
motors you can put on a backpack that go down?
I'm thinking jetpack, but on the inflatable feet, though. Now, because if I could get across the ocean, it would be worth it. But otherwise, I ain't walking that far. I get
Chad
tired
says-
halfway through and fall down.
Chad says you could coil up the nose, it would be fine. It's only for breathing, so it doesn't need all the thick musculature. Think nose condom. B says blow up feet. Sammy says you had me at erect, Dave. Loyal Growth Show says, "Can the feet walk on water?" Yes, the feet can walk on water when they're blown up. Jenny says, "Snorkel, I can already walk on water."
How would you erect it though?
You get it excited.
I'll just say, nerdy as you're here, I hope that between you and Sammy, you've managed to give plenty of notes to the fan fiction during this one.
Volumes.
They could now include Starky as well.
This is going
Starky
to
was in
be.
there, but
When do I
Yeah,
get to read the fan fiction?
When they write it.
When they write it, and now you're here, you're going to be in it.
I
Someplace.
was in it a long time ago. A long time ago.
It may or may not involve a goat. He hasn't decided yet.
There we go. B says snorkels would be great for lesbians. To be quite fair, they'd be great for anyone that was going down on someone.
Okay.
Not
can't do-
really. 'Cause it would be in the person's face, wouldn't it? If they're trying to enjoy
Yeah, but it's just soft. You just get it out the way. You just put it out the way, and then you've
It's
got your
like
mouth
having
and
a
your tongue.
dog's tail in your face the whole time. That's disgusting.
Cardo says nose wank. Yandir says show it pickles. Loyal Ratio says, Ricardo, I'm snotting everywhere, sorry.
I mean, can I blow the feet up? I mean, they seem quite expandable, so could I make them into wings? And if I've got a motor, it sounds like I could fly with these little feet as well.
I don't think you'd be able to fly with them. You could definitely get a hydrofoil going.
When, like a sort of pterodactyl, you know, I've got these really big feet, and I just jump off a cliff and...
I will be back. Small
With a
humans
motor.
angry.
B, that's where we spend most of our time during sex, Dave. At least I do. and you'd be able to breathe, no problem. Sammy says the fan fiction began with Lucy.
Yep, it sure did.
There you go.
So which are you going to go for, Nerdy?
I'm still going to go with the feet either way, because the nose just seems to be something that you can't change. You've got this meter-long nose that's either floppy or erect, whereas the feet, you've got this full option, inflate them or not. Whether or not they're pointless, you can just have normal feet if you want normal feet. So yeah, I'm all up for the feet that you could blow up if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
I thought this was like a grower, not a shower, so it like grew when it was erect and otherwise was like semi-normal on your face.
No, it's always a meter long.
Oh, so it just flops down?
Mm.
God,
Yeah.
wouldn't you pee on it then? That's not
Yeah.
very sanitary.
Well, I wouldn't. There's a meter between my nose and my...
Ding dong.
You might.
Yeah. Get your floppy nose everywhere. It'll go in your tea, and you're trying to eat your cereal in the morning, and your like noses in the bowl.
Oh, you could drink tea in bed through it.
Can't we turn it back into a trunk, though? I like the
It
trunk.
could be a problem now if you have an accident with your ball and you're going to end up going down face first and breaking your nose badly.
Yeah. What have we got here? Jenny says gills would be good for lesbians. B screams. Lower Grosho says I'd have too many nosebleeds for the nose. Sammy says I don't need gills. I learned to breathe through my ears. Ricardo. So would it be fart propelled feet farthing? No idea. Lucy.
It'd just be like a paddleboard.
Feet. I'm
Why
not
do you
having
want
any. I'm not. I can't be bothered to erect shit. I ain't got time for it. I'm busy.
What
Jeff.
if it only took looking in the mirror?
Feet.
Well, I am pretty gosh darn good looking. I'll give you that one, Starky.
It wouldn't necessarily. It would get excited when you saw the water.
Oh.
Oh.
No assistance necessary? This is getting easier.
What would you pick, Starky?
The nose. I wanted a
Nose.
trunk last time anyways. This is almost as good. I wanted to like walk around with my smoothie in my trunk just like
You just realised you could just lower that thing. You could just lower that thing that you've got right there down a couple of inches. It's just a really good answer right now.
Katnip.
I want the blow up feet.
You want the blow? Why do you want the blow up feet?
So I can walk on water, duh. And like Jeff was saying earlier, I don't have to keep them inflated all the time, so they're just regular, normal feet.
Very good.
It's just like life raft you inflate in case of emergency.
Yeah, exactly.
You're evil. Right. On that note, we are going to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to say thank you to Katnip.
No, thank you.
Thank you to Lucy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to Starky.
Dave, you're the best.
Thank you to Nerdy. I got to fix that.
mate.
And thank you to Jeff.
I've got to do all these. 1, 2, 3. That's the one. Then that one. Yeah.
And thank you to...
Oh yeah. Live
What?
long and prosper.
Nerdy's doing it as well. And thank you to everyone in the chat. We will see you at the same time tomorrow. Bye bye.